And what's up, everybody? It's Aaron and Ray back again with another episode of Franchise Tag Fantasy Football Podcast. It's a little early on a Monday. The Monday night game still has to be played in about an hour and a half's time, right? That's when the kickoff is. So it's the Broncos versus the Chargers. How does that make you feel, Ray?
Hopefully it's not another stinker from Russ.
Oh, what if this is like just he torches the world on fire?
It would be that way because I cut him last week. It would be
Probably. Yep. He's back on track now.
Maybe it's just the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers defense is that bad.
Maybe. Play Melvin Gordon if you have him.
Yeah, that's pretty much him and Gordon Sutton.
Yep.
That's about it.
That's pretty much all we got to say about that one. So,
what do you got for us this week, Aaron? Or today's show, I should say.
Today's show will technically be the Tuesday waiver wire show. So we are going to hit some waiver wires, some quarterback streams, some defensive streams. Kind of a little recap over the weekend. I know you are feeling a little under the weather. I was a little busy yesterday with family stuff, so I watched a couple games, but not a whole lot. I mainly ingested all of the highlights after the day was over. But anyways, things to remember. You want to talk about waiver wires first? Or you want to talk recap?
Let's do waivers.
Okay. Things to remember. Teams on bye are the Buffalo Bills, Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, and Los Angeles Rams. So people are probably going to be looking to replace their Cooper Kupp or their Jalen Hurts or their Justin Jefferson. Josh Allen going out is going to bring some teams back down to real life level. So that will be kind of interesting. So
I've been playing without a quarterback for 5 weeks now. So
quarterbacks might be a little bit more expensive this week if teams aren't rostering two already. So just keep that in mind if you use a fab system. If you're like Ray and are basically just saying you're going to leave the spot blank, don't waste a priority pick this week on a quarterback. There are 3 or 4 that you could potentially get. Just make sure the teams that those guys are on bye don't have 2 rostered per se. So, anyways, you want to start off with running back?
We can start off with a little bit of news too.
Oh, news! That is correct.
A little news.
Bum bum bum. Go ahead, hit it, Ray.
So, I think that I when I saw that this trade happen, Robbie Anderson going to the Cardinals via trade, it made me think that Marquise Brown was going to be out for a lot longer than I guess they initially thought. I still think that that's kind of weird that they went and got the exact same body type, same archetype of receiver.
I think that it has to do with, as you said, the initial reactions were could potentially be a Liz Frank like he had in college, which if you remember coming into the draft his rookie year, he had that foot injury. That's what that was. Doesn't appear to be as bad as they initially thought per Rappaport, but I do think it was an initial knee-jerk reaction of, oh, there's some discourse, or however you want to word it, in Carolina. We can probably go get this guy for kind of cheap on the low since he's turning into a problem for them just to cover our butts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still think that Marquise Brown is going to be out for a while.
They are saying 6 weeks, but I'm thinking more of playoffs if he comes back at all.
So he's probably not going to be viable for anybody going forward.
But hey, if you had him, D-Hop's coming. D-Hop is supposed to be back Thursday night, anyways. Probably, I don't see him being in super good. He might be in great football shape. Who knows? But I mean, if you drafted Marquise Brown, you got a good 6 weeks out of him.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't draft him too high.
No, you should have probably tried to trade him last week too. To be honest, with the D-Hop coming back, I would have.
Other news would be Carson Wentz got hurt. He'll be out for what seems to be a while. And I don't think it was an injury that made him look as bad as he did. He just looked god awful. It was a solid 4 points for me on Thursday night. It
was a ring finger. So don't let anyone say, "Oh, it was a finger on his." It's a finger that barely touches the ball.
Well, they said he's not going to be back for a while. So
no, and that's what I'm saying. Means. I think the injury coupled with the playing atrociously. Has been like, we'll just let you fully heal. Take your time. Yeah. And with all the stuff that Ron Rivera said too, it's kind of like a perfect storm that happened, and it now actually is probably going to help that locker room settle down.
I think anything else.
Cam Akers.
Cam, that's right.
Be traded.
I don't know if he's going to get traded.
No, Chris Olave is good. He's out of the concussion protocol now. He should be playing this week. Tua's on track to play this week as well, to be back. Hopefully T. Higgins will be completely healthy coming into this week.
Michael Thomas is most likely not playing this week.
Correct.
Most likely not.
I wouldn't expect Jarvis to play either. J.K. Dobbins, we'll talk a little bit more about this too, but J.K. Dobbins during their game said that his surgically repaired knee started to get tight and stiff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he didn't get as much run. I think that's pretty much it. In other news, if you were listening to me saying, look at Wandale Robinson and Kadarius Toney for the past 3 weeks, I think Wandale kind of paid off for you.
You know what's crazy is I got to see a little bit of that game there, and I got to see Wandale, I guess, make a few receptions, and I didn't see one time where he didn't try and catch the ball with his body.
That's fine. I mean, majority of NFL players catch the ball with their body. It's weird. I don't know why.
I always think about how Rodgers hated receivers that caught with the body. Every time
at this point in time, Rodgers would probably take just about any receiver that would know and learn the offense.
Or maybe just throw to the open receivers that he has.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know. It's crazy.
You could do that. Anyways, there's something else I was going to say with that. Oh, body catchers. Pay attention to the likes of Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. They're prime examples of body catchers, but they're great. So, So, anyways, you want to start off with running back?
Sure.
So
go ahead. I thought I was going to start off.
I was about to go into a whole spiel.
Go ahead.
So, as I had alluded to with the J.K. Dobbins thing, for the first time in probably his entire career, Kenyon Drake looked good. It's weird. It's really weird.
Oh, yeah.
So, don't necessarily. Hey, that's a good sticker.
Thanks.
Don't let it fool you. But if J.K. Dobbins is going to be limited with the knee, I would look at potentially picking up Kenyon Drake as a 1 week rental this week.
This is probably the week to do it too, because you're going to have Dalvin Cook out. You're going to have Devin Singletary out. You're not going to have Darrell Henderson.
I don't know if that really helped you. Miles Sanders is going to be out too.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is going to be out.
So at least 3 semi-viable running backs there. I would look, because we've talked about it, you're trying to buy wins. So spend a little bit of money, do whatever. He had 10 rushes for 119 yards. Yeah, he had a big run in there, but he scored too. And if he's going to be the featured back in that offense, he'll be okay. Rashad Bateman should be. That's another thing I forgot to bring up on news. He's trending to be back in this week too, so that will help that offense out a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know you're probably not on the next running back that we have in the docket, but I can talk about it if I need to.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
So,
I don't think so.
So they are splitting the backfield, at least what we saw Thursday. If Montgomery comes back and he's awesome, that's great for all Montgomery fantasy owners. But Khalil Herbert, he should probably be looked at to be rostered. He went 7 for 75 and had a 64-yard long rush. But if Montgomery goes down again, he's going to kind of be hit or miss, but it can't be any worse than Montgomery is currently with trying to play matchups. And if you have another running back to kind of swing in and out, I would look at Khalil Herbert. You could probably get him on the back of a $0 bid if you need some depth. And if you can get him a few weeks before fantasy playoffs, you don't necessarily have to do it now. But that's a good handcuff to kind of have. We're getting into a little bit of handcuff territory just because there's not very many straight up solid workhorse running backs anymore. So that's pretty much it.
For receivers, I think
Let's hear it.
I said it last. Say it again. And I should have played him this week. I should have done it. I still wouldn't have beat Ruben, but should have played him. Brandon Ayuk is steadily becoming more and more involved in that offense, and you've seen his usage go up each week. He's at least a safe flex, I think. He was 8 for 83 and 2 of them things.
Yep.
So can't get much can't get much better than that, really, this week.
So is that a ceiling play? Is that his ceiling?
That could probably be a ceiling play, but at least you're going to see, because from what I saw in the last few weeks, is he's been involved, and I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. So, but he's been involved. He's worth the waiver wire ad.
Okay, I would agree. I have Robbie Anderson as a question mark on here. Do you take a deep shot on him? Do you take a flyer to see if it's going to work out?
Probably not. Probably
No,
not.
just
No,
let it.
I don't
Just let
think
him
so.
go. Okay.
Because D Hop's coming back. They're going to get Rondell more involved.
I think he ends. They were hoping they would have Hollywood, and he would bump to Rondell Moore would bump to the slot.
Yeah.
So does Robbie
But-
Anderson line up on the outside?
That's where he conventionally plays, but I just don't think that.
You don't think in Arizona it's going to work?
No.
Kyler will be the best quarterback that he's ever played with, though, too.
I don't know. If you have a spot on the end of your roster, sure, but
Maybe.
I'm not willing to burn a waiver priority. I'm not willing to
Oh,
put
I'm
any
not
money on it.
willing to burn a priority. If you have a spot for Fab,
Sure,
I think
Fab,
that gets it done.
That's probably going to get it more than done. It's going to be a lot of zero Fab.
It's going to be an overbid.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's another one. I just don't. No. Chase Claypool? No. No way.
Read the whole note. Chase Claypool with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. I think Tomlin's starting to realize that we got to get this guy involved. How can you go from having double-digit touchdowns one year to just being non-existent on the team?
Because he's the third best receiver on the team.
His talent's there.
Is it?
Yeah.
His hands are suspect as hell.
So were Deontay Johnson's, but yet you have him on a fantasy team.
I don't know. The last 2 weeks he's seen 9 targets, 7 targets. He had a 3-week stretch of 6 targets, but they're not worth a whole lot, especially with Mitch. They're not worth a whole lot. And I know that this week
he just went 7 for 96 and 1.
I understand that, but he also had 9 targets for 50 yards, or 9 targets, 5 receptions, 50 yards last week. He had 2 targets, 0 receptions the week before that. 6 for 3, 6 for 4, 6 for 4. Never eclipsing over 35 yards outside of last week.
You are missing Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis this week. You're missing Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen this week. You're missing A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith this week. And you're missing Cooper Kupp. You're not going to just try to get him for a fill?
I don't like it. No, I don't like it. I've dealt with Mitch this whole season. I've had Deontay in almost every league I have, and I've dealt with him. I don't want any part of that offense. I don't. I've wanted out of Deontay for a long time, but I can't get rid of him. So
I'll take him off your hands for cheap.
Which everybody would for cheap.
Yeah, well, you can't say that you won out on a player and then expect a boatload in back in investment.
I want at least.
I don't care about your draft capital.
I want something back to help my team, and I wouldn't get anything back for it. So
because he's not producing.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's why I don't want anything to do with Chase Claypool. So,
the next name on the list.
I'm not going to.
That's fine. The next name on the list happens to be on bye this week, so you can probably wait till after waivers run to pick him up. You want to talk about him, or no? You want me to talk about him?
Sure. Allen Robinson, I think, is at least worth a roster, but I don't know if I trust starting him just yet. This could be that 1 week off. He had 5 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown. But maybe he gets more integrated in the offense, and you're taking a shot now. You didn't pay any of the draft capital that somebody else did. It's a guarantee it was a 4th-round pick at least. So I think that's worth more of a flyer than the majority of what's on here outside of Brandon Ayuk.
I agree. I think realistically, out of what is technically left on the waiver wire at this point in time, and bye weeks coming up, they're all flyers anyways. You just kind of have to pick what trash you kind of want to hold on to for a week.
I would honestly, while we're on this subject, we're going to talk about one guy in this team. I don't see Alec Pierce's name on here, and I would imagine that he's still probably under 50% owned. But go ahead and talk about Paris Campbell.
Oh, so Paris Campbell, once again, deeper option, 7 for 57 and 1. It's not the 7 for 57 and the touchdown that I'm super excited about. It was the usage percentage for this past week. He was heavily involved. Matt Ryan threw the ball 58 times. However, the Colts have looked like they righted the ship. They all looked fairly well. They fought back from a deficit, and needless to say, it looked like it was going to work out and still gonna work out. So, but that's something that we'll see. How rostered is he?
Alex Pierce is 54% owned on Sleeper.
Okay.
He's not started at all, really. And if you're looking at, fill-in spots for your the plethora of receivers that are going to be out this week, and you don't have any depth, he has seen 5 targets, 6 targets, 9 targets, 7 targets. These are healthy target shares. And last week was kind of more the outlier where he didn't really get that involved till the very end of the game, but it was also his first touchdown.
Yeah.
And I would say that out of his 7 targets, I got to watch a little bit more of this game than I thought I would, that he was looked at in the red zone more than I thought he was going to be. He's a big guy. He's 6'2".
He is a big guy.
Weird that they don't target Michael Pittman in the red zone, but that's just a thought.
So my thing is, right, and hear me out. Alec Pierce, 51% snap count, 45% snap count, 44% snap count, 59, 65. Paris Campbell, 77, 86, 82, 67, 92, 100. I understand, and targets, right, not very good. 4, 2, 2, 4, 3, 11, spiked up to 11 this week, whereas you said Alec Pierce, 2, none. Alec Pierce was out week 2, right? That's why he doesn't have any stats.
Yeah.
2, 5, 6, 9, 7. Like,
the draft capital's there.
It is. I just feel like Paris Campbell's going to be integrated into this offense and run out of the slot predominantly more. And that game, Jacksonville got ate up by the slot, who happened to be Paris Campbell. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, and Paris Campbell is 8% rostered. That's a super deep flyer on that one. So,
and especially with this many receivers that are going to be out this week, worth rostering at least one of them. And
I would definitely go Alec Pierce first, but I just assume football savvy minds are already going to have him on the roster. And to be fair, and to your point, Ray, this past week, it definitely did favors for Alec Pierce or for fantasy players for Alec Pierce, because now you can get him cheaper than if he were on the Paris Campbell side.
Yeah.
He scored, but still it's not, 11 targets, 7 receptions. What did he do? I don't even know his stat line.
He was 7 targets for 3 receptions, 49 yards, and a touchdown.
So right at like 8 points, 9 points.
12.4.
Oh, he'll probably still be a little expensive then. I did want to ask you a question on this. Chicago's offense is abysmal. Justin Fields is throwing like 21 times a game. But would you rather, going forward, rest of season, if you had to roster one of these two, would you rather roster Darnell Mooney or Dante Pettis? Mooney this past week had 12 targets, 7 receptions,
Mooney.
68 yards. Pettis had 7 targets, 4 receptions, 84 yards, and a tutter.
Mooney? Yeah.
I would probably agree there.
Yeah, and it's more because Mooney has already shown his involvement in this offense. He's already shown last season that he was a guy in this league. He could be that guy. Dante Pettis has had how many opportunities?
I think he pissed off Kyle Shanahan, so that's partly where it went.
What about when he was when he was with the Giants? You pissed off that guy too?
He probably pissed off Joe Judge, yeah. I mean, to be fair, though,
I know.
The Giants also, with that regime, paid Kenny Golladay buku amounts of money. So their judge of character might not be the best. Kenny Trash Can.
Kenny Trash Can.
So that is tough.
Notice he's not on this list. It's wild.
It's crazy, right? So up next, we'll go ahead and we will hit your favorite position of all, your absolute all-time favorite spot, the tight ends.
You don't.
So for tight ends, I want to ask first, real or fake? Mike Gesicki, 6 for 69 and 2. Fake. I think with Tua coming back too, I think that kind of drops off.
Now, I'm not saying that Mike Gesicki isn't talented, and if he wasn't on another roster, he would be probably a pretty good ad. But they just do not like him in Miami, and he doesn't get anywhere near the volume.
What was it, Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater? They like him way more than Tua does. Tua looks and says, I'm just going to try to get this to Tyreek and Jalen, even though I can't really throw it 56 yards.
Probably the better move. The next guy I would like to talk about.
Go ahead.
I think it is real. I think out of all of the pieces in Green Bay, Robert Tonyan has been the most steady, reliable positional player that we have. And
I would agree.
His involvement has gone up every week since he's coming back from his ACL. This last week he was 10 for 90, no touchdown.
I mean, it's kind of hard to score a touchdown when you only score or get touchdowns if you only score 10 points.
The other part of this that I'd like to point out is that Rodgers is not looking for pretty much anybody outside of Alan Lazard at this point. With Randall Cobb being hurt, Tanya is probably going to be a very nice play going forward because he trusts him. And Rodgers and his trust, and he can't throw to him.
He does trust them, and we're looking. If you're a Packers fan like we are, this is brutal. Mm-hmm. It sucks. Mm-hmm. But now I think all of Packers fans that were talking all that shit on Devontae beginning of the year and all offseason of, oh, we don't need him, blah, 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 go get your money. It shows how much of a hole and a discrepancy that he really was covering up for, I think, the rest of the offense between him and Rodgers. Because when you take that much focus away from a defense, it opens everything else back up. And when you don't have people that can do that, okay, we'll put 8 in the box and make your guys beat us one-on-one. Yeah, Rodgers might be able to throw them open, but if they can't catch it or they don't run the right route concept, okay. You're SOL. Exactly. You're SOL. So,
maybe go pick up Odell.
If we're not in playoff hunt, I don't think he comes. He's probably going to go to a contender. Let's be real.
Last week did not instill any confidence in me.
No, I'm with Jair. It's a problem now.
I don't know about the last two, but I guess because, again, tight ends suck. So
I want to bring up Jake Ferguson. Did you watch any of this game?
I did.
Okay. He was super involved with Dalton Schultz's absence. Really involved. 6 total targets. He went 4 for 40 and 1. This is with Cooper Rush. Dak should be back next week. I understand that. But Dak still utilized Dalton Schultz. So if Dalton Schultz is going to be injury riddled and have some issues, and Jake Ferguson is going to be starting and getting a bunch of run, I think he is still a viable streaming tight end option. I'm not necessarily saying go drop your Gerald Everett or go drop your Higbee off on a down week, even though he is on a bye. Don't drop him. Drop someone else. Pick up someone like this, and DFS and streaming options. DFS options, I think, because it'll be dirt cheap. If he does another 4 for 40 and 1 stat line, you'll be good there.
I can agree with that. Honestly, watching the game, I got confused on who Jake Ferguson was. I thought that was Dalton Schultz. I didn't see any difference.
They're one number off. I mean, 86, 87.
I didn't see any difference in the level of play between the two. So why not give your rookie the run?
Let him get fully healthy. You know what I mean? If he showed that he can do it, let him get healthy.
Should be a good call. Daniel Bellinger.
Yep. Daniel Bellinger, New York Giants rookie. He is also a rookie for the Giants. He had 5 targets in this offense with a 5 for 38 and 1 stat line. He's exactly like Jake Ferguson to me. But for the Giants, super low on pass catchers anyways already. So if they go to you and you get your 5 targets, you catch all 5 of them for 38 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
It gives Daniel Jones another look outside of the red zone. I don't know if that's going to stick, but it's just something to kind of monitor. Could be a streaming option last minute if, something crazy happens this week, or you want another DFS dart throw for your GPP lineups to try to get an edge on the competition.
I want to bring something up real fast.
Didn't play. What's up?
I want to. So in the last 3 weeks,
yes,
I have seen Saquon holding that shoulder 3 separate weeks where he came off the field. He's got a shoulder injury. Honestly, I know it's going to sound really silly. Maybe you can ride the hype right now, trade him for something, of equivalent value, and let somebody else take on the injury because he's going to have to miss time. There's no way.
He's going to just Dalvin Cook him, put him in a device, and watch him go crazy.
I'm just putting a warning out there because I've seen it 3 weeks in a row now where he came off the field because of that same shoulder.
If anybody in any of our leagues want to trade me Saquon Barkley, let's get some stuff going. You don't own him, do you?
No.
Dang.
No.
I was hoping we could do this.
I'm just throwing out a reminder, just something to keep your eyeballs on.
That is fair.
Might be ready to get out when the getting's good, then wait until he's hurt.
It's a shoulder, though, so it doesn't necessarily really affect him as much as if it were a lower body extremity. We've seen it with Dalvin Cook 2 years in a row. You know what I mean? So there are ways around it. But anyways, don't disagree with you. I mean, if you are a person that's like, oh, Jesus, here we go again with Saquon, just do it. You want to take a quick break and then come back with some quarterback and defensive streams?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Hey, everyone.
This show is brought to you by Driffles Jerky. Are you like us and love beef jerky, but hate paying those high prices for subpar meat? Well, at DrifflesJerky.com, they have the money meat.
You said the money meat?
That's right, the money meat. Great tasting beef jerky made from top quality cuts of beef at great prices. Use promo code franchise tag to get yourself 10% off on your order today.
That's DRIFFILLS jerky.com. All right, everybody, we're back. Be sure to, like the ad says, go to drifflesjerky.com and use code franchise tag for 10% off of your order. All right, Ray, quarterback streamers. This is your favorite segment, isn't it? Has to be. For a guy that streams quarterbacks all year round, has to be your favorite part.
This ain't the year to do it. This is just not the year to do it.
This is a bad year. All right, so first on the list, I'm going to bring up Matt Ryan. You saw that he still has it somewhat. And Jonathan Taylor supposedly supposed to be back, but it should instill more confidence in you to see what he did with Deion Jackson and checked it down to the running back for like 7 for 79 or 10 for 79 or something like that. Had a lot of passes to the running back. Found Pittman across the middle. We've talked about this game quite a bit, but I do think Matt Ryan next week against Tennessee is a good streaming option. So
Something to I might be writing down.
you're pandering that, like you're like taking a mental note real quick.
Writing down. I have Jared Goff as a starter right now. I don't know if I like it. Dallas's defense is the real deal, and I know that they got destroyed by the Eagles. I understand that, but I believe in Goff this week, and I feel like I said the same thing about Carson Wentz last week. So maybe take that with a grain of salt.
Who do they have? Something Sewell or whatever. One of their tackles.
Penny Sewell.
Yes. If he gets matched up with Micah Parsons, I do think that is a good matchup. He's been matched up with Aiden Hutchinson all offseason and training camp and all of that, and he's number 2 overall NFL draft pick. You know what I mean? So he's coming off of a bye as well, where they get to actually game plan and scope it out. I do think I am in agreement with you. You have rostered Jared Goff, but if you have not, yes, the Dallas pass rush is premier, but I do think that Goff is able to get it done, especially with a healthy DeAndre Swift, a healthy Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Penei Sewell. I think if Parsons lines up on that side, isn't going to just crumble and fold over.
Hope not, because I really need him this week. Taylor Heineke against Green Bay. This is disgusting. This is disgusting.
You have to, though, right?
This is disgusting. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's streaming. Do you think that he is going to be that much better than Carson Wentz? Do you believe that?
Saw it last year. Yes, I do believe he will be that much better than Carson Wentz.
Do you believe that the Packers defense literally will never right the ship, and that this is it, and this is what we've got? Do you believe that?
You know what I noticed? Jair traveled last week.
He did. He did. And he shut Garrett Wilson down.
I was going to say, I might be a little colder on this take, but because scary Terry, right? He's going to travel with Terry McLaurin. That's Heineke's number 1 dude. I don't know. I do think Heineke against Green Bay is a streaming option. I know Green Bay is susceptible to the run, but I do think that, especially Eric Stokes, he gets beat deep a lot more than you'd want.
He sure does.
A lot more than you'd want. He gets beat quite a lot, and I don't know if it's the play calling or what, but it seems like Savage and Amos are never there to help cover over the top.
I think it's more Savage than
I think
else.
it's more Savage too, but it's just one of those things. It's like I don't understand it.
Really, Brian Robinson next week, smash start. Smash.
Yeah.
I think we got that. We nailed that one on the head with Breece Hall. Smash.
Yep. And then obviously those are really the main 3 streamers. That's
now I'm gonna ask a couple more, okay?
Okay. Trevor Lawrence, if he's out there.
He's not. How do you feel about Daniel Jones?
I think he could get you by in a pinch if you needed it.
His floor is pretty much going to be 12 points.
Okay.
So
his floor is Russell's high. Got it.
He's sitting around 12 points, really. That's where he's at. Another name that I really wanted to bring up because I've seen it go up every week.
Yes, sir.
Really. Justin Fields.
The rushing floor gets him over the top, so I would consider streaming him. I think I did look at him before I made this show doc, but I think the matchup is what it was.
He's playing against New England.
Yeah, that was that's why I didn't list him in this one.
It's just something I had to bring up because I noticed it this weekend. He ran all over Washington. I'm sorry, I noticed it Thursday. Ran all over him.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't take too many shots in the ribs. Trevor Lawrence is only 61% rostered. So that's close. I get it. But I would start paying attention to him. It looks like his floor is 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
The two quarterback sneaks for touchdowns helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that he's going to necessarily burn you. They do play the Giants this week. Giants look to be real through the first, 6 weeks of the season now. So he's another name that I would look at. But yes, like you said, Justin Floor, just strictly the rushing upside with him as well.
And then I understand they're playing against Cincinnati. I get it. How about Marcus Mariota?
He doesn't throw enough, and I don't necessarily. His rushing potential's there, but I don't think it's as high as it used to be.
Mhm.
He's like quarterback 11 on the season, isn't he?
Before you look at the statistics behind it, who has so far a better season right now, Daniel Jones or Marcus Mariota?
Marcus Mariota.
Justin Fields or Marcus Mariota?
Marcus Mariota. I just said he's like quarterback 11 on the year.
His floor is safe outside of when he played against Cleveland. His floor is safe.
That's fair. I mean,
I'll give you 19 points, 15 points, 16 points, 4 points against Cleveland. That's weird, right?
that's super weird.
17 points against Tampa Bay, 24 points against San Francisco. If he can do it against San Francisco, and I understand these are rushing touchdowns that he's getting, I understand that. And that's helping his.
I was about to say, yeah, if you play in a 4-point passing touchdown league, the 6-point rushing is what you want.
Yeah, and I get that that's part of this, but just a name that, again, I want to have brought up because I don't think that obviously San Francisco's defense is much better than Cincinnati's. Much better.
I have San Francisco's defense. I was like, dude, that's a guaranteed 10 points.
Yep. Wrong.
And I played Robbie Gold too, and it got brought up in our group chat of why did you play Robbie Gold this week? Because I thought San Francisco was going to boat race the Atlanta Falcons, and Robbie Gold was going to have like 5 or 6 extra points plus a couple field goals when they sputtered out.
There's something I want to bring up also with Atlanta, and maybe I'm smoking crack. I don't know. Have they not been competitive in almost every game they've been in? Have they not been involved in every game they've been in?
I don't know. I know the last 2 weeks for sure.
Yeah, these are tough matchups they're having against Tampa Bay, against San Francisco.
To be fair, they got robbed out of even getting a chance to tie the Tampa Bay game.
Yeah, and I'm just bringing that up again just because maybe I can tell you that their defense, Atlanta's defense, is better than we thought it would be.
They lost to the Saints by a point.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to the Rams by 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Seahawks. They beat the Browns. They lost to the Bucks by 6, and they beat the Niners by 14. They've been competitive.
I'm just saying it's something to monitor. You know what? I'm gonna put in a claim right now
For their defense?
and I'm running Mariota this week.
Dude, you just drove that price up. You know you did.
I don't know. Who would you start asking for a friend? Mariota or Goff? Tough.
Yeah.
Tough. We'll talk about it on the starts.
Who does Atlanta play this week?
Atlanta plays Cincinnati.
That is, I don't know. That's tough.
And
that is super tough.
Goff plays against Dallas. So
probably Mariota because I'm scared. Even though I like Goff, I'm scared of Dallas's defense.
I like Goff
legitimately. I'm scared. I'm scared for Rodgers' life when the Packers play the Cowboys.
You might as well just forfeit that game.
Might as well forfeit the game to the Bills too. Why even show up?
Don't bother. It's so stupid.
But any given Sunday, watch the Packers are going to come out and throttle the Bills.
That'd be it. That'd be the week I'd bench AJ Dillon. Watch
everybody. Yep. So defensive streamers. As we've talked about, we're recording this before the Monday night game. Pay attention to Denver's offense. If Denver's offense just explodes, it looks electric. It looks like when they had Peyton Manning and they went in the playoff run for the Super Bowl. Don't do this play. But if they have the normal Russ who sucks and can't throw the football, play the New York Jets defense against the Denver Broncos.
I I don't care what they do against the Chargers. The Chargers defense sucks. I don't care. The Jets
play the
against
New York Jets
the
against the
Jets
Broncos.
defense against Denver is a good play next week. It has
It's my
to be.
start of the week right here.
Because Denver's offensive line is god awful. And you know what damn Jets do right? They have a great pass rush and they shut down the run.
Dude, Quinnen Williams is a man.
Jesus Christ, he was literally unblockable. Now, granted, sometimes he was just not being blocked. That was something.
Let's ask you this. Would you rather have the Green Bay offensive line or the Chargers offensive line?
Probably the Chargers offensive line at this point.
Would you rather have Green Bay's offensive line or Denver's offensive line? You see what I'm saying? They're comparable. So if they could do that against the Packers, I think they're going to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, this is going to be a telling game. This is a good measuring stick game for really both teams because Denver's defense is good. They've been keeping Russ and that god awful offense in some sort of game script here. But I don't know, man. This is
you know in Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one when Johnny Depp on Jack Sparrow just comes riding in on the boat that's sinking and it just stops right at the dock.
Yeah,
that's Russ in the offense and the boat is the defense that gets them to where they need to be.
Those guys are exhausted. These guys are gassed. These are tough ones. I don't know.
I can just picture Russ just hanging out thinking unlimited.
Yeah,
as he's coming in.
Let's ride.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so Washington against Green Bay, I'm doing it because I have no faith in Green Bay's offense. Zero, none. They're in streaming consideration to me. Chances are on DraftKings too, they're going to be super cheap. So in DFS, I'm probably going to start them everywhere because Chase Young, does he come back this week or next week? If he comes back this week,
I had to look that up. I don't know. I'm
looking right now, but
that's a big deal because Elton Jenkins can't stop anybody right now. So definitely something to monitor on that for sure. I don't know if I like the next two either. Jesus, no.
Okay.
There has to be better. Hold on. While you're doing that,
out of things that aren't rostered, go ahead and look for it.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go take a look at some other things real fast because these are gross. These are super gross.
What is on the list? I don't even know. Carolina to play Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a bad offensive line. You saw it this past weekend. They have it, and I'll tell you why they have a bad offensive line. That's why I want to play Carolina's defense against Tampa Bay. They're going to get sacks. Tom Brady's probably going to at least throw one pick. That's guaranteed points. Bad O-line equals lots of sacks. Look at the Packers.
I like Miami's defense against Pittsburgh.
I would agree with that. And I'm playing New Orleans defense. Marshawn Lattimore should hopefully be back. Playing New Orleans defense against Arizona. It's a Thursday night game. I'm on the side that D-Hop does not make it back for this game, or if he does, he's on a snap count and on limited snaps.
Why would he?
I don't think he's going to have the conditioning that he needs.
Everything I've heard is that he's in the best shape of his life. Now that doesn't mean anything.
Oh yeah, he probably took some more PEDs.
Might as well, right?
I mean,
if you've been holding on to it for this long, you better hope he's on PEDs.
You better hope so. But I think with how bad Kyler's been playing and how putrid the play calling is from Cliff Kingsbury, I don't think this is the get right week for as soon as he comes back. So I'm playing New Orleans defense.
I like the Jets the most.
Seattle.
I like the Jets the most.
Seattle held them to 3 offensive points.
I like the Jets the most this week.
Yeah, me too. That's why they're number 1 on the list.
Yeah, I like the Jets the most this week.
So, but yeah, I don't know when Chase Young is supposed to be back. I cannot find anything on it.
If it's not them, I would go Miami against Pittsburgh. That's probably my other defensive stream this week. But outside of that, it's pretty rough because some of the good defenses are on bye.
That is fair.
So, like, the Eagles' defense is on bye. What are you looking for right now, Aaron?
3 days ago, Commanders head coach Rivera said Friday that young knee will see surgeon Dr. James Andrew one more time before potentially being cleared to resume practicing next week. So he should hopefully practice this week.
But he's not going to play.
He won't play then, no. So
No,
maybe not necessarily the Washington defense then.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good call.
I'm going to bet that it is. I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it. With all the bad calls that we've had this year, seems like I'm just going to stick with it, dude.
Might as well, right?
Yeah, but yes, go if you don't have one of the top tier defenses, like if you have the Bills defense and they're on bye this week, go after the Jets.
I'm going to.
Okay,
I'm literally going to.
I'll outbid you.
Well,
anyways, you want to hit up just a little bit of recap of the week? What did I call it? Weekly roundup. I always forget
it's
what
a
I call
weekly
it.
roundup, but really,
not a lot Falcons are more competitive than what we thought.
Yes,
looking at it.
The Bills Chiefs game was
good.
Pretty damn good. And I'm going to tell you right now, Tony Romo called that exact score. He's like, "Oh,
He
this is going to be a 24-20 game." I'm like,
he did. He said maybe 30 if someone goes off. Like, but no, I mean it was, and that's a good thing about you. You were correct when I said that the Chiefs defense is not as good as the Bills. They're pretty dang good. They were making. The reason it was so low scoring is like Tony Romo said, they're making them drive the entire length of the field. Like that game went by quick, is what it seemed like.
Juju is a weekly start.
Juju should be looked at flex consideration week in, week out now.
Mm-hmm.
Still a proven fact that Bill Belichick will take away your number one offensive weapon, i.e. Nick Chubb. Packers are dead in the water. Jaguars-Colts game ended up being a nail-biter at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Colts won it.
You know what? If Matt Ryan had actually figured it out, right? If he's actually figured it out, I do want some pieces in this offense now.
Yeah,
and I think
Michael Pittman.
Alec Pierce, I think Michael Pittman, and situational. When
Jonathan Taylor comes back.
Yeah, when Jonathan Taylor comes back, I think that's when it's going to really hurt the slot role. I think that's what it's going to be.
Agree.
Because they're going to be trying to do short yardage through running the ball.
I would agree. Jalen Waddle apparently looked hurt at the end of that game. He's fine. No, nothing on the injury report or anything. Just monitor that with your eyeballs. The Vikings are on bye. I wanted to talk about that, but I can't. Even if Tua is not playing, you're still going to start Tyreek Hill because for some reason he just is fast, I guess.
Rashad Bateman from the Ravens. He's trending to be playing this upcoming week now.
Good. That'll bring a lot of openings to that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase had a huge game. Chris Olave will be back this week. Taysom Hill disappeared. Alvin Kamara is ridiculous. Even to not score any touchdowns, his stat lines are crazy. So either go get him or keep him if you have him. Saquon's still that whole entire offense. Buccaneers aren't looking so hot.
No.
Steelers are I think going back down. Rams look awful. Go ahead.
I think CMC is in trouble.
Why?
That offense just looks god awful.
Yeah, but CMC's running back 3 on the year in half-point format.
I get that, but I mean, how many times have we seen him being overused and then get hurt?
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Eno let you with
me
the
down.
big oh no.
Big old let me down.
Hollywood, we've already talked about. Zach Ertz is still going to be viable. He's a good streaming tight end candidate every week. He's going to get targeted. Kyler, still doing Kyler things. Geno finally came back down to reality a little bit. Had 15 points, I think. So normal stuff.
If that's his floor, that's great.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Kenneth Walker, yep. Good fab purchase, I guess. DK got locked down. Arizona's been doing that to the number ones. Geno had a bad game, therefore basically a bad game in comparison to what he's been having. So therefore Lockett didn't have a good game. I already talked about the Bills-Chiefs game. Eagles are on bye, so they're not really relevant as of right now for this week per se. Cowboys, Dak is supposed to be back. CD's going to be good again. Zeke should be good. Zeke went 13 for 80 something and a touchdown. He was good. He was definitely good. Broncos, we'll find out tonight.
We're going to find out in about 20 minutes. We're going to find out.
Along with the Chargers, but at the same time, Keenan Allen, I don't think he's playing, is he?
I don't know how he's not been back yet. Like, there's all this meme that's like Brian Robinson got shot twice and came back before Keenan Allen's hamstrings.
Oh my
crazy.
Jesus!
Yeah, they got hurt the exact same time, hurt and shot.
Yep. And Keenan Allen is still listed as out for today.
Yeah, he's going to be out today, but I don't think he goes back next week because there's no positive news coming out of Chargers camp. Nothing, or Chargers as a whole.
if you need an ad, this is just me. If you need an ad, Josh Palmer might be someone to look at if he's not rostered
He'll probably get rostered this weekend
in leagues.
or this week coming.
He might get rostered right now.
Oh, you don't say.
He might. I mean, probably not right now. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to do a little research. See what's going on.
All right, Aaron, what else you got for us here?
That's it, Ray. That is it. That's all I have. That's it. We've finished this episode. Go check out the waiver wires tomorrow. As always, guys, please use code franchise tagged for 10% off your order at drifflesjerky.com. I would spell it out for you, but if you rewind and see the ad read, it's spelled out for you there. Join our Discord channel. That's where Ray will have his super hot trigger fingers to type you back, message you back, let you know. Ask us anything in there. Ask us start sits. Also, please, as always, follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That one lucky winner is going to get that t-shirt. And then on YouTube, please thumbs up these videos. Really helps us. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live and drop new content. And subscribe. Please subscribe. We're at 522 subscribers as the time of this recording. We appreciate every one of you 522 beautiful souls.
Smart folks.
Smart folks.
Smart
So,
folks.
guys, until next time, we will see you later.